Okay, so my story of my birth is kind of different than most people's. Most people kind of like are born into the family and just live happily ever after. But so I was my family back before I was born. My parents met at a youth group. My dad had moved from Germany to California, and they kind of hit it off from the start. So they were really eager to have kids like right after they got married, but they found out that my mom wasn't able to. So they looked into adoption, which was a really hard process for my mom because she had always dreamed of having her own kids and having that typical family. So as they were looking for adoption, it was super hard. They kept getting denied. They eventually were given a chance to adopt a young boy named Samuel. And before the period where the birth mom signed off her rights, she had changed her mind, and they had had him for a couple years, or not a couple years, months, and then had him taken away. And so that was really devastating for my parents. My family's very reserved and they don't like to confide in people a lot and talk about what's going on. But for some weird instance, my grandma had confided in a chaplain at Olive Crest when she worked there. And the chaplain said, "Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I know this girl who's pregnant. She's looking towards adoption." So she gave my grandma her number. My grandma reached out to her and said, "I know this really nice couple." She didn't mention that it was her son and daughter-in-law, but the girl was super interested and was willing to meet them. And then at the last second, my grandma was like, "Oh, by the way, it's my son and daughter-in-law." So that's kind of how they met my birth mom, and from there, I was adopted and brought into the family. So growing up, it was really nice because I knew I was adopted. It was never kind of like, "Oh, surprise, you're adopted," like when I was 12. But it's kind of like a weird relationship because I know my birth mom and I get to see her sometimes, but I also have my parents who raised me. And so I'm just super grateful for the family I have, and that I don't know where I would be if I was never adopted. So